Welcome back. Still on the application of pH and pH scale. Right. So let's look into this problem and see how it goes. Remember that pH is the negative logarithms of hydrogen concentration to base 10. Right. So let's apply this problem into the concept. All right. pH goes in this form, with making it shorten to remember the formula. So let's look at the P aspect here as transforming, transforming into a negative logarithms, and this is how it goes. The P is transforming now towards a negative logarithms of base 10. What about this H? Yes, the H will transform, but the transformation of H will just be of little. That's how it will be little. You just have to put in the index of plus. This is how it is. So that's the short form for you to remember how you can work with administration, changing into pH. So just look at the P as transforming to what negative logarithms of pH 10, then the H here having in plus. So in that regard, you can now bring the value of original concentration into the show. What I mean is this: we have negative logarithms of log 5 times 10 to the power minus 3. You're going to put the formula there. That's not the units, I mean, the units needs to not be involved. All right. In mathematics, you know that there's some constant mathematics. For instance, multiplication, right, changes to addition when it comes to logarithms principle. So it means that you change this multiplication into what? Addition. So let's see. That is minus logarithm of 5 is 10. Then plus logarithms 10 index minus 3 is 10. Can you see it now? So after changing, so the logarithms walk through 5 and that of 10 to be in this form. So logarithm walk through to have negative logarithms of 5. First thing, let me just put this in brackets for safety, for caution reason actually. So negative stays apart. Let's make them apart. So the logarithms walk through 5. Time changes to addition. Then logarithms still walk through that of 10 is a power minus 3. So this is how it is. Alright, still working on that. To make it secure, put the minus out and put your brackets. So we're gonna have log 5. Now, there's a theorem in logarithms, right? Called law of logarithms. Anytime you are seeing a log having a power, the power needs to what? To come as the coefficient of the log of the 10 here, right? What I mean is this. All right, so That's just like this. So we're gonna put this index from in front. So we're gonna have as a coefficient we have what? Minus 3 log of what? 10 base 10. And there's a law in relative that says what? Anytime you have the same value, right? As a log and base, everything equals to what? 1. So we're gonna have minus log 5, right? Then we have plus in bracket minus 3 brackets 1. So what do we have? We're gonna have something like this minus what? Log 5. Then we have what? Minus 3. I'm still working arithmetically. So we have log 5 is 10 times plus times minus is going to go as minus what? 3. So we are done with this aspect, the right part, right? So let's go on this. So we're going to have our log of 5. So what log of 5? So I'm going to take my calculator. Sometimes I can use your 4-figure table. I'm going to press log of 5. I'm having 0.69. Then just put 90 minus what? 3, right? So in this regard, let's work with the brackets, get the answer in the bracket, then we can now move on and open the bracket. So let's still work. We're gonna have something like this. So we have 0.6990 minus 2. No, minus 3, I mean, please. So I'm having what? Minus 2.301. Alright, so we need to go and open the bracket now. So by multiplying the minus time, which is minus 1 times minus 2.301, I'm going to have what? So we have our pH equals to what? 2.301. So in one decimal place actually, we will have what? 2.3. That's all. So what we're gonna do now is, so this is just what's happened. And note this, pH does not carry any unit. Not that. Alright? It's just what you use, right, to get a particular measurement, which is the hydrogen concentration. So the hydrogen concentration will have units, but pH, right? Even pOH, I mean, two of them do not have units. So like the video, share the video, and we're gonna have more of my videos next class. Have a nice day.